Hello, and welcome back to art. Today we're going to be talking about our elements of art. We're going to be reviewing them for the next week and a half. Today we're talking about color. So go ahead and get out your foldable real quick. Let's take a quick look-see at what our foldable says about color. Here I have my foldable. I found it. Wonderful. Okay, we have our primary colors, which are blue, red, and yellow, and they make up all of the other colors, right? And that means we have our color equations because of those colors. So we have red and blue, those make purple. Red and yellow, they make orange. Blue and yellow, and they make green. So on the next blank page in your sketchbook, on the top of it, I want you to write color again. I'm going to label it in a fun way. Color. So let's take our notes. There are, like we said, 3 primary colors. So first, write the word primary colors. Underline that term underneath it. You're going to write the colors that create all other colors. And then, what are they again? Red, yellow, and blue. Give you some time to write that. Go ahead and press pause if you need to. Underneath that definition, I'm going to give you a new term called secondary colors. Ms. Prather, what on earth is a secondary color? I've never heard that word before. Well, you're about to find out. Spelled secondary like number 2, second, and then airy, A-R-Y. Secondary colors are the colors that are created by mixing. Does anyone know what they're created by mixing together? By mixing 2 primary colors together. And remember, that was our color equations. So, for example, we have orange, green, and purple, or sometimes referred to as violet. They are the same word. All right, go ahead and pause and write this down. After your secondary colors, underneath that, you're going to write this word. Warm colors. What on earth is a warm color? Warm colors such as red, orange, and yellow, and sometimes yellow, green, and green, they have associations with things like fire or the sun, right? And the opposite of warm, cool colors like green, blue, violet have associations with things like ice or winter, right? Great. So, the warm colors are colors associated, A-S-S-O-C-I-A-T-E-D, associated with warm things. And that would be red, yellow, and orange. So that means that cool colors, if you need to pause, do that so you can finish the notes. that would mean that cool colors are colors associated with cold things. Associated with cold things. And that's blue, green, oops, my R took a funky turn there, and purple. So what kind of things do you associate with warm and cold? Go ahead and draw those things next to each term. So if I associate fire with warm, I'm going to draw a fire. If I associate ice and snow with cold, I will draw a little snowman. Give him a nice little hat. There we go. Snow and fire. Cold and warm. Okay? Press pause if you need the notes. I'm going to erase them. So how do we see color? That seems crazy, right? Where do they come from? What are they? So colors belong on what we call the visual spectrum. And this is a spectrum of waves, electromagnetic waves. Really big word, don't even worry about it. It's basically just energy, right? Like UV rays, which is the sun's rays, microwaves, which is like a microwave. They're really tiny rays of energy, right? Radio waves and visible light. And so visible light is where we see all of those colors, okay? So all you need to know is that colors come from something called the visual spectrum. So magnificent, so exciting. We can learn more about it later. It does come into play when we talk about something called complementary colors, but don't worry about it right now. One interesting tidbit, it's fascinating. Black is not a color. Why is it not a color? You mix all the colors together and you get black. But actually, because color has a lot to do with light and how we see light, black is the absence of color. So you cannot have color if there's black. It means there's no light getting through, right? No light getting through to create the color. So black is actually the absence of color. So what I want you to do in your sketchbook is underneath all of your color notes, if you still have room, or on the back of that page, you're going to draw a circle. It's got to be a little bit big. So here's your sketchbook page, right? It needs to be not this huge, but maybe about that big, okay? So not this tiny. So here's my sketchbook page. Mine's pretty big. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to draw as perfect as you can an X. And then draw a line down that. And on the top right here, top left one, you're going to label that red. Next to that, you're going to label it orange. Next to this, you're going to label it yellow. Who can guess? Green, blue, and then violet or purple. And you are going to take your colored pencils out and you're going to color in each of these. Remember, I said don't make it too big. If you made it too big, that's going to be a lot of work. If you happen to have markers, that also works. So you're going to color first, color your primary colors in. And then I want you to label them with a P. And then you're going to color in your secondary colors. And you're going to label those with an S underneath or above each of the words that you labeled them with. All right? So you're going to take a picture of that and you're going to submit it to Google Classroom, and then we have an exit ticket coming up. So we have 4 questions for your exit ticket today. The first question is not a right or wrong question. It is your best guess. Where do you think we can see all of the colors all at once? How on earth can you do that? you get to tell me. The second question, what are the primary colors? The third question, what are the secondary colors? And the last, final question, how are the secondary colors made? All right, guys, complete the accent ticket, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.